Hey, good morning guys, it's Bob Smith here. It's October 5th and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about qualified coaches. In Hawaii, nothing is more important than respect. Kids are taught from an early age in homes, give them lickings, earn your respect, beat them. And as a result, the MMA culture has grown more than ever here in Hawaii. Now, mixed martial arts is a fantastic sport as long as you're going to a qualified gym. But in Hawaii, any other garage has some sort of a fight club going on. Now, parents, I want you to think about this. There are several different plates in the human skull. Most people think that the skull is made of one solid bone. It's not. There are several plates that come together, and they don't finish fusing together until the person is in their early 20s, often in their late 20s. Now, repeated strikes to the head can disrupt the seating of those plates and cause permanent damage. A lot of kids receive brain damage through football playing, even though they're wearing protective gear and people think that the gear is safe. So please think about this, because there are qualified coaches and there are unqualified coaches. Now here's an example. Last week in the East Coast, there was an 11-year-old boy that died in the emergency room. He received a neck injury because an unqualified football coach, it was a father who wanted to be involved and he wanted to help and he wanted to be active on the football field. I get fathers like this all the time that want to help with our programs. But the father wanted to help and be active and be involved. He put this kid through a drill and the father wasn't qualified to be a football coach apparently. The little boy received a trauma to the neck, went to the emergency room and died. These stories happen every day across our country. And every parent says, that won't happen to my kid, never my kid. Are you sure about that? Now, before you put your child into a martial arts program where they are overstretching ligaments and joints, or they're learning to gouge eyes and break knees, think about this. As a child and a teenager on the playground, I got into a lot of scuffles, and the last thing that I would need to know is how to put out a friend's eye because I was mad because he gave me a bloody nose. These sort of techniques can be taught later on when the mind is developed and the body is developed as a means of last self-defense. But to have a 8-year-old, 9-year-old, even a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old learning things like knee breaks, chokes, which restrict blood flow and oxygen to the brain, or eye gouges, it isn't necessary. Now, there are some kids who can learn techniques like this and they can be very, very successful. But there are kids out there who don't have that same sort of self-control. There are kids who are taught in their families, go ahead, put their eye out. If they mess with you, give it to them. Not thinking about the long-term repercussions of what's going to happen, how the child is going to have to live with that for the rest of their life. Or what if it was their child and their child were blinded or killed in a freak wrestling accident or a freak football or baseball accident because an unqualified coach, meaning wanting nothing more than good performance from his athlete, pushed him a little too far, had them do a technique simply because they've seen it done on football training or on the UFC or something like that, and they put their child through a drill like this and they ended up with fatal consequences or permanent consequences. Is that really something that you want for a family member? Is it really something that you want for a child? Do you want a child to learn how to kick the groin and possibly cause rupture in the testicles, permanent injury? I certainly don't. Do you want your child to be shy? And last and most importantly, do you think it's okay to let your children quit? In today's society, more and more, every time we turn on the TV, we see kids being abducted on television. Yesterday, there was an Amber Alert in Fresno, California, where a gang member kidnapped and raped a little girl, and thank God a good Samaritan came along, followed this truck because he recognized the truck from the Amber Alert, kept cutting the truck off until the gang member threw the little girl out of the truck after he had raped her. Well, as far as that goes, the gang member, member of the Bulldogs, what I say about that is, like any mad dog, there's only one thing to do. You put him down. And any country boy across the country, hillbilly, farmer, or hunter, knows how to handle a pack of wild dogs.